about classes. So basically, the advantage with classes and methods is reusability, right? So we can define the class in T code SE24. SE24 is the T code. We can define the class, and inside the class we can have a number of methods, right? And these methods, they are reusable. They can be reused in many programs. So let us try to so let's go to the T code SE24. So let us go to the T code SE24. So here we can define a class, right? So when we are defining the class, so just before our class, I have defined it. So here, this is our class. So this is the class name, and here we can have as many methods as we want, right? So I have one method called mValidate_Matter. So generally in the projects, what we'll do is like in one we will call this class as ZCL validation, something like that. We'll put the class name, and inside it we can have all different kinds of validations, like validation for a material, validation for customer, validation for purchasing organization or a plant or something like that. We can have different methods. So here, if you observe, I have defined one method. So my method name is mValidate_Matter. So I want to validate the material number. So here in the drop down, so we will take it as instance method. When we take it as instance method, that means this can be called by a number of programs, right? And visibility is public. That means anybody can see this. It is public for all the team members or something like that, right? So if you don't want anybody to nobody to use your class, then in that case you will put it as private, right? But generally in the projects we will put it as public. Why? Because see, the main objective of classes and methods is reusability. So suppose if I created this validation for Matner, so again, somebody else in the same project, they don't have to write the validation, right? So they can simply go ahead and they can call this method from this class. They can simply call this method, right? So that is the main whole and sole purpose of writing the classes and methods, reusability. So I have given the description as material validation. So uh, then if you go to the parameters, so what is the input I want to give to this method, right? So I want to pass the range of material numbers. So the user can give any range of material numbers, and basically this method has to validate, right? So here in the associated type, this is table type. So for each and every like material number, customer number, purchasing organization, or purchase order, or sales order, for all these standard associated types are there, right? So if you want to find out the related standard associated type, what you can do is like you can go to SE11, and here there is a type group, right? So here you can give like suppose if you want to find out all the table types. Sorry, yeah, here you have to select this, not that. You have to select this, right? So simply you can give star Matner star, right? And then select this F4 button, and here search for table types. You select the option search for table types. All the material related standard table types we want to search. So like this, you can search and you can see range table, material range, right? You can use this, or range table for materials. You can use this. All of these are the standard range tables. You can use any of these, right? This also you can use. All of these are the standard. This also you can use material number, range of material numbers. All of these are the standard table types that SAP has defined. So you can select any of that. So I have selected one of these, right? So like this, we can select for any field. There are already, suppose if you want to find out the standard table types for sales order, then you have to give star VBELN star. And then if you select this, it will show all the standard table types that SAP has defined. Like that, you can find out the standard table type and you can give that associated type. And this is the material, right? And if you go back, if you double click on this method, so whatever the logic you want to put, that logic you can write here in the method, inside the body of the method. So here what I am doing, I am declaring another internal table. I am declaring another IT Matner 2. It is of my second internal table. It is type table of Mara. Mara is material number table, right? So I am referring my internal table to the type table of Mara. And if IT Matner is not initial, so this is my input. So this is the range of numbers that we are going to, that it is going to get as the input. If IT Matner is not initial, if it is not empty, then we want to select Matner from Mara into the second internal table, where Matner in IT Matner. So whatever the range of material numbers that they give in the selection screen, that range of material numbers it will select, right? It will try to see whether it is a valid material number or not. If it is valid, then if size sub or c not equal to 0, right? And if this is initial, right? So if size sub or c is not equal to 0 and if this is empty, then we are giving some error message. Please enter a valid material number. And we are closing our if with end if, and we are closing our another if with end if. So in the body of the method, you can write whatever the logic you want, you can put that logic here, right? So any doubts still here?
Yeah, no doubt. Actually, in that parameter,
Mm.
you gave that some interface is there.
So,
Method of
sorry,
if you go, I saw some parameter interface. Something is there. That's also
where?
yeah here properties interface friends yeah after property.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
Interfaces.
this,
See,
yeah,
actually, this is also used by standard when SAP is defining standard classes or interfaces, right? So at that time,
yeah,
you will be able to see some information in some cases, right? So attributes, uh, methods, events, types. So actually, see, whatever we want, everything we are defining it in the properties itself, right?
okay,
So here in the attributes, if you see, go to methods. See, whatever you want, we are defining them here under the parameters. It is like all in one, right? So whatever we define here in the parameter, all in one, like here separately, you don't have to give what is the type of this, right? So everything, all of this, if you observe, all of this is also included here. Suppose if you go to this, right? So in the parameters itself, we are defining everything. What are all the, what is the input for this, right? and what is the type, and whether it is a public or private, everything we are defining here in the method, and also in the properties, in the parameters tab, right? So when we are when we are doing our custom development, we don't use all the other tabs. So whatever we want, we give our importing parameters here, right? And we type there what is the type, their associated type. We mention them here. And when you go to the methods, and here basically we are saying what type of visibility this method is going to have. So if you can try to find some standard ones, maybe, mm, let's see, some standard ones, if you display, you may find some information in the other tabs. So this is the standard class, right? So, so this also, mm, it is not using any other tabs. So methods is okay. Attributes, what is this? So basically, all these other tabs, SAP, when they are you defining the standard ones, they use, right? So level is constant, public, programmed and program transaction in SQL trace, number of following, so cache for by definition. So it is defining something, the standard one. So yeah, what is this? Class for extension services with framework of exit technique. Okay. Type groups. Okay. So so Manoj, actually, when we are doing our custom developments, we don't use all those tabs, right?
Okay.
So
No
we
issue.
only use the methods, and what is the input parameter, what are the types, and for all those things we will define here in the parameters tab. So only these things we will be using. Um, when standard SAP is defining some standard classes, maybe that time it will use, let me see, let me try to display another standard class. Huh. Okay, so okay, properties is fine, interfaces, fronts, okay, CL statement, attributes, okay, what values all these methods are passing, right? So events, they don't have any types. LFT code, okay, alias. Okay, so basically, yeah, we don't use all these when we are doing our custom developments, Manoj. Only methods and the parameters tab we will use.
I think this is fine for me. Actually, just for knowledge purpose.
Yeah. Mm.
Actually, that MDG or something, no? MDG, they are
Huh.
developing. It's all
Hmm.
it's automatically creating the code, no? So they're saying that interface, so they're saying method, something like that. Sometime
Huh.
back I was learning, so I just remember.
Huh.
Yeah, I think it's fine.
So, so like this, we can have any methods and number of methods, right? So let us see how to call this in a program. So we have our class and our method ready, right? So let us see how we can call it. So now that class and that method, it is like a standard one only. Once it is in active state, anybody can use that class and that method, right? So here what we are doing, we are trying to define one field called vMatner, and it is of type Matner. So we are defining our select options. So we want the user to give the range of material numbers, SO Matner for V underscore Matner. So the user would be able to give the range of material numbers. And we are also declaring a internal table IT Matner 3. It is of type table of Mara, and work area Matner 3. It is of type Mara, right? So in the initialization, see, initialization event is when we want to initialize some values, right? So at the very beginning of the program, if we want to initialize some values, then we will use the suppose in case of report program, we use the initialization event to display the default values in the selection screen, right? So similarly, whenever we want to define our classes and methods, we have to initialize them in the initialization event, initialization section. So we are defining one we are defining one field. That field name is O global, and type reference to. Whenever we are referring to classes, we have to give the keyword type reference to. Type reference to, we are trying to refer to this class ZCL underscore CLS. So we are whatever the class that we have created, we are referring to that class. So now automatically our O global, this field O global will refer to all of these methods, whatever the methods that are there in this class. Our O global is referring to all of those methods also, right? And create object O global. So that means we want to create one object, and that is referring to this class, right? So now after creating this object, all the methods that are there in this class also will be applicable to this object, right? So this is a very important point. So whenever we want to refer to a class, right? So we can have our own local object, right? So some name you can give and type reference to ZCL class. We want to refer it to this class, and we want to create an object. So then only, now after this statement only, our O global, we can refer to the methods, whatever the methods that are there in this class, our O global can refer to all those methods, right? So add selection screen on SO Matner. So basically we are trying to do the validation when the user gives material number in the SO Matner. In the selection screen, we are trying to do the validation. So now our O global, so this is our local object, and local object we are referring to this class, right? So directly, that's why directly we are referring to this method. Our O global, we are referring to this method in that class, right? And exporting. So what are we sending to this method? So exporting IT Matner. So in the method, the importing parameter is IT Matner. So that's way we are exporting. That means we are sending. Exporting means sending. So we are sending our SO Matner to the input of the method, of this method, right? So start of selection. So start of selection, we are trying to select star from Mara into Matner 3, where Matner in S4 Matner. So basically, we are using this method for validation. That's why when you look at some of the programs in the projects, for all the validations, they'll be calling all the predefined methods in the classes, right? So I just made the program simple because our main objective is to how to create a class and how to call that class and that methods in the program, right? So that's why I just wrote a simple program. So like that, you can call how many, whatever the number of methods that are there in this class, you can refer to all those methods in your program. Similarly, everybody in the group, they can see some of the classes, in some of the classes, there will be some common things in the sense like all these validations, and so all these common things they will put in one class, so everybody will be referring to that class. So validations is very common in each and every program: validating the material, validating the sales order, validating the customer, validating the vendor. All this is very common. So we don't have to write the code again and again for that. Once in a class, the methods are the code is written in the methods and they are saved and activated. Now anybody can start using them, right? So any doubts still here?
Yeah. One query, like
Mm. Mm.
function model also we can use.
Yes, function
You
module
can call.
also. See, suppose if I created one function module, you can also use it. Yes.
Mm. Then what is the advantage of having this writing classes and doing this one?
Classes and methods, see, actually conceptually include programs, right? And function modules, classes and methods. Basic concept is same, reusability, right? But see, one thing that let me think. Function modules also same thing. Once it is saved and activated, anybody can use it. And classes and methods also, I will check this, Manoj.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
No problem.
I will check and I will tell you, because actually uh, I am not finding any difference, but I will check and I will tell you.
Yeah, that you said that you can use many times. So
Yes, reusable,
also,
correct.
yeah, how
Even
it is
BAPIs
different.
are also like that, right? Even BAPIs are
Yes,
also like that,
yes.
right?
You're right.
So all of these are reusable only.
Yes,
But I will check. Actually, this is a good
sure,
point.
sure, sure, sure.
Hmm. So let us try to execute this program. So here we can give the range of materials. Okay, let me try it in a different way. Let me directly go to the table. So if I give a value, so because it is valid, it is not giving any error, right? So we simply selected the material number and we are displaying it in the program. Let us try to give some invalid material. So I will give some invalid material, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Please enter a valid material, right? So like that we can use these classes and methods. So like suppose some select statements, right? Suppose, see, like, let's say, for example, there will be some related programs also sometimes, like, in one program, maybe they are trying to fetch some sales orders based on some conditions, and they are trying to, filter out some information. Another program may be like, they want to fetch the sales orders, and they want to do some processing on the data, and they want to display. So in these kind of programs, sometimes the fetching of data from the tables, right? So that is also maybe common sometimes. Some related programs they will be there, or sometimes in the program there will be some 70% of the functionality is same, only 30% is or 30% of the functionality is different. So see, all these, wherever we feel like there is some common part, that part it is better to go and try to put it in the method so that everybody can use it, right?
Sure. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. So, um, yeah, like, did we discuss iDocs?
No, no, no.
We did not discuss, right?
Yeah, I think two topics pending, I guess.
Sorry,
BAPI and only
BAPI
two
and
topics.
Ba-
BAPI and
iDocs. Okay. So you want to start iDocs today, or you want to start it tomorrow?
yeah, tomorrow can you start? And
Yeah.
I'll do this program today
Yes.
and
Yes. Yeah. We will
thank you
start
so much.
freshly, because anyway that will take